What is going on to you Libras? Hopefully you Libras are having a good day. Let's get into this. You Libras actually have the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and then you have the Tower card, right? For you Libras. Um, so you Libras felt like the way that you used to be in your relationships, it almost felt like you were begging or like trying to do everything you can to get these people to not break up with you, to not make things difficult, to not mess things up. And they would do it anyway, right? The Ten of Wands, the Tower card, they would make it seem like you need to beg me. You need to really beg me. You need to really, that's how they would, it would feel like that, right? Because here you Libras are, you would try to make things easy as possible or try to not really stir up too much. And they would they would essentially, be at odds with you, right? They would be adversarial with you. And so you felt like that. I know I felt like that tons of times. You're not really the type of person that likes to do too much as far as like to go back and forth, right? You like to keep the peace. However, you're not weak. You're not scared. You just don't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? You see the bigger picture. Doing that can end up making the relationship really dysfunctional, or it ends up being a waste of time because you have your own mind, they have their own mind. Two of you just can't actually blend minds together and make peace. And so I get it, right? I get it. So what's happening here for you, Libras, is that it felt like that when it came to the relationship, right? The past relationships that you've experienced. It wasn't where the two of you actually got along with one another. It was more so where the two of you were at odds with one another. And you Libras just had to tolerate the fact that these people were going to do that to you. Well, and how I know that is because of the Lovers, right? The Lovers. You felt like that. But the Lovers and the Queen of Cups represent, but that's not, just checking to see, that's not how it is now. A lot of you Libras understand now better from experience. It's not always about just them. It's also about you Libras as well. How can you be in a relationship with someone where all they want to do is give you a difficult time, hard time, and you Libras are just supposed to sit there and take it while you get the lower end, while all they do, or the predominantly what they do, is create nonsense, right? And this is why it is I was saying for you to pick out significant others. I don't have any water. To pick out significant others that are good options, because good options are not going to make too much of a situation for you, because they understand, because they themselves have been through some stuff with other people and they know, I don't want to go through this. So they want to keep it as drama free as possible. That's why I talk about good options, right? Because I've talked about this before, and now it's becoming more apparent that like people will start mess with you while they're in relationships with you, sometimes for the sake of spicing the relationship up. But that's stupid. That's stupid, because how many times are you going to have useless conversations with somebody that will, it feels like you're just wasting your breath? This person just wants to be adversarial with you just for the sake of being adversarial. There's no cause. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that too, but it also lowers their own validity and value. It lowers their validity and value because it shows you, number one, their spiritual basis or their spiritual value is off. They don't have as much spiritual value as they want you to think that they do. Because people who are healthy don't go around picking fights for no reason. They don't do that. That's not something that they do. They seek to keep things peaceful because they see the stupidity in it. Because they're thinking to themselves, why would I go around being adversarial with people who've essentially done nothing to me? Or I don't have a reason to really do anything adversarial to them. It's not like I'm homeless and I'm really hungry and I'm homeless and I feel like I gotta swipe something and really run away with it. But the only reason why I did it, I took a peach, is because I legitimately am hungry and I want to eat, right? I understand the cause. So at that point, okay. But just trying to get into like arguments with you just for the sake of, well, it's exhausting. And it's not a matter of it being exhausting per se. It's a matter of stupidity, right? Like, once you see the bigger picture, like for me, for instance, once you see the bigger picture, it's like, you just start thinking to yourself, like you just start thinking, oh my gosh, and I don't like it when people start that nonsense. Oh, I don't want you to reference yourself, but then you're listening to me. Once it is that I see people on that, all I can think to myself is, how many times am I going to have to really argue with this person because this person doesn't want to actually get to the bottom of anything? They just want to bicker and argue. Because what I'm doing is like, look at it like a map, and I'm thinking about the whole map. Yes, I'm seeing the details, but I'm also thinking about the map too in relationship to the overall, to the details. So the way that I think of it is, I would leave someone like that. Why? I would leave them because I'm thinking to myself, if this is a useless, stupid argument, right? I was about to say fight, but if this is a useless, stupid argument, how many more times am I going to have to do useless, stupid arguments in the future? That doesn't really do anything. It just shortens my lifespan. That's what it does do, if it does anything, just for the sake of trying to spice up the relationship. Now, this is why it's stupid. It's stupid because that same kind of argument that a person could have done with you, Libras, they could have done something constructive. See, people conflate being good synonymous with being boring, being fun with being boring, right? Being fun with dysfunction, being they conflate being consistent with being boring. And it's like, people conflate being fun with boring. They think if you're miserable, then that's fun. How can we show and prove this? Well, quite easily. If that's not the case, then why don't they do something that's constructive but wild and fun? I.e., something that's wild and fun. Take somebody out on a helicopter ride. Unpredictably. You in a relationship with them? Yo, get dressed. Where we going? We're going on a helicopter ride. Randomly. They don't even know about it. Not only does it not wreck your relationship, it doesn't blow up your relationship with some goofy stuff like that. It's unpredicted, chaotic, unpredictable, gets the creative juices flowing. Why does being creative, right, creative and unpredictable, have to do with something stupid? We gotta get into an argument. We gotta get into useless arguments. I gotta get on your nerves. I want you to get upset. I gotta be difficult for no reason. That I'll leave a person for that. I have left them for that. And so a lot of you understand you gotta get with good options. The Chariot, the Seven of Wands, and the Moon card represents, so you're not willing to put up with a lot of the things that you Libras used to back in the day. Now, the Chariot, the Seven of Wands, and the Moon card here represents how people will try, but it's not going to work because you Libras will be too far ahead. You Libras will be too far ahead. You'll know what's up. The Ace of Cups and the Five of Pentacles will represent how a lot of you are in too good of in a space. And what I mean by that is the Ace of Cups. Your game is too strong. Your game is too tight. You're not interested in the stupidity. See, is there a time and a place for bickering and arguing? Absolutely there is. Absolutely. But not a lot. If you're bickering and arguing a lot, that's not good. And again, this is what I was just saying a few minutes ago. People equate and they conflate progress with bickering and arguing. And it's like, it goes to show you the mind frame of some people, because I've gotten my mother some flowers, some roses for Mother's Day. That was completely unexpected. She loved them. Did I have to make an argument with her in order to do that, in order for her to enjoy the time? No, I didn't. So why would I? So it's the same thing no matter whether you, either way, right? Whether it's to me, whether it's her to me, excuse me, whether it's me to her, whether it's her to me, regardless of who I'm kicking it with, right? My family members, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter who they are, it doesn't matter who it is. Fill in the blank. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's friends, friends with benefits, serious long-term relationships, family members, acquaintances. Why why bicker and argue with anybody if it's not necessary? Like, it's one thing if you think it's necessary, but to you know, argue with a person, or to be adversarial with a person, and there's no justification. And a lot of times people do that, right? They doing it, but they're sabotaging their relationship for a means of something else that they think is more important. And the Ace of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, this is why a lot of you Libras are so able to cut and run. This is why a lot of you Libras are not putting up with it, because you Libras understand what type of time it is. Why would you want to be in a relationship with someone where all it seems like they want to do is just ruin things for you? And I get it. Let's clarify the Five of Pentacles. Three of Cups. Right. Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and then you have the Nine of Wands. Right. The Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, it just represents how they're underdeveloped. It shows that they do not understand that you can, like, if you're bored in a relationship, you do not have to make an argument. You just need to do something unpredictable. So the same kind of energy that a person can use back in the day with you Libras, when you were really putting yourself out there and dating, to get into arguments and like have you Libras feeling all stressed out and all of that, they could have been putting the same kind of effort into being in a relationship with you and making it work. They could have been like, you know what? I love my Libra. I'm not going to make arguments with my Libra. What I'll do is I will, like, randomly, let's try something new. Let's go to a video game competition. Maybe you Libras, I'm just using that as an example. Maybe you Libras, maybe you Libras like, I don't know, go-kart racing. Take my Libra go-kart racing randomly. Don't even tell you, right? And again, a lot of you understand that value. A lot of you Libras understand that's what it is that you want. You want where the relationship to be fun, but it's not fun if they're just arguing with you and then they're trying to make something seem like it's your fault. That's not fun. And so if a person has to do that and they are getting fun out of it, it just goes to show you Libras, you got to leave them, because they are underdeveloped. There's something wrong with them spiritually as well as everything else. They haven't matured enough to even understand that's not fun. That wrecks relationships. That's not fun. And so the thing is that the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Swords right here represents how this is a situation for you Libras where, and so the thing is, right, Nine of Wands. And so the thing is that, but what you'll have in the past is that a lot of people didn't think that they were wrong about anything. So overall, what it is I'm seeing here for you Libras is that a lot of you Libras, yet again, y'all are single. The difference now is that a lot of you Libras are a lot more savvy, a lot more prepared to actually deal with people, because you understand that they plan, right? You on some Queen of Cups stuff. They plan, they're wasting your time. A lot of you Libras bring a lot of value, and that you're not just going to give the relationship. You're the prize. The relationship is the prize. The other person is the prize. But when they show you that they're not the prize, you're the prize, and the relationship stops being the prize. And so you Libras can hear now more than ever and moving forward, how people want you to do a lot when they want you to do a lot. I'm not saying every last person will want that, But when a person would want to play mental gymnastics with you and they want to do a lot, you're listening in to what is the good things that you do get. Like, what is it that you do get that you would want to even sign up for that? Because a lot of the times, even when it comes to like the single mother thing, me in particular, right? I don't hear a lot of value in that. I hear me having to take care of somebody else's situation, which I don't want to do. And then people would be like, well, okay, well, what is the fascination? Well, I almost lost my life for it. Almost lost my life for it. For one, I mean, I don't know if that matters to some of you, but I almost lost my life for it. And for two, I would want to create my own family so that I can instill my own values in something that I help create. You know, my work ethic. I want to give my last name. I want to redeem my genetic line, Kareem Raymer L, right, or Raymer L. I want to redeem it. I want to put an L attached to the name, which would automatically attach it to the Moorish paradigm immediately from birth and do right by my kith and kin. So that's pretty much it. A lot of you Libras just understand how to ask now and what to look out for, which is great, because now you can't be duped into just accepting hogwash. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 25,800 and change. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.